What's going on, my friends? Welcome to episode 60 of the Get It Out podcast, bringing you the hottest takes, latest stories, and spicy picks surrounding New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, national, and international sports. Hosted by yours truly, Alain Vigneault, joined around by Megan Cunningham, Chris Kern, and Sam Morell. You can see the podcast right now on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at GetYourGameOnP. With all that said, it's time to get the game on. Sam, I missed that dance.
Sam is being a dick right now because he can't.
Just for the record, like Sam isn't in this, but he's mostly gonna be participating through this episode through chat because he just coached and he has raspy throat. So Sam, I just want to say we really appreciate you, coming back for ourselves, and we hope you feel better soon. But you're a trooper for still being present.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were at pregame. Sam sounded like a crackhead going wild with the terrible raspy. And I love you, buddy, and I love you.
Sam just messaged us in the chat. Just so you know what he said, it's F. The first word becomes the letter F, and the last word becomes the letter Y. You can put two and two together. All right,
he said,
guys,
"Flame you."
All right, but guys, we have a very, very special guest joining us today. Alex wanted to bring this guy on for a long time. Unfortunately, Alex couldn't make the show with us, but we're so happy to have him on. Covers the Philadelphia Flyers and the Phantoms for FlyersNittyGritty. Jamey Baskow. Jamey, how you doing?
Good, man. Thank you for having me on for your following. I hope you all are doing well and getting ready for the holiday season here, right?
Yeah, brother. I got a question about you, but you might have asked the first question about
fire away.
Go ahead, Michael.
I got a question for you, Jamey. Did you ever play hockey, and what made you become a hockey
I
player?
did play hockey. Not, of course, obviously not professionally, as I sit here, right? But I'm making my millions on the other end.
Anything is possible. You look like a hockey player, so who knows?
Right? No, I'm joking. But no, I did play hockey. I played for 8 years. I played from the time I was 8 to 16, and I played at Tarkin. For their their ice hockey program there. But I just honestly I love the Flyers a lot, and I was looking around and I saw some lies within social media and stuff, and that's actually what got me into the writing aspect. I followed the team very closely, and I just wanted to produce honest, positive, coverage, and that's what I do. I'm a positive guy, and that's one reason why I wanted to start to write.
I mean, Jamey, I appreciate that
great
positive mindset. Sam, I mean, I appreciate it. But I want to ask a question here. Talk about how you first started writing up the Flyers. Was FlyersNittyGritty your first venue, or did you start covering it before that?
No, I've actually been doing this for about 7 years now. I first started with Philly Sports Network. I worked with them for around 4 to 5 years, and one thing led to another. I wanted to start my own website, so Reich and I got together and we developed FlyersNittyGritty, and here we are today. I mean, we provide honest, honest coverage, for Flyers hockey. We don't sit there, we don't curse, or do, any of that, or, whatever. But
you want us on that podcast then?
No, I mean, that's okay. But I'm talking about, what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your Twitter handle and different things and stuff. We don't.
Yeah, try to keep it professional. Yeah, because I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I try not to swear when I'm Twitter.
But and stuff. But I mean, like, I don't know, just trying to provide honest coverage for, and that's what we've done, and that's how successful that we've gotten. So it's led us to where we're at.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead, Michael.
I'm not really a hockey fan. What do you think about black players in the hockey? Because I'm from the hood. We never liked hockey. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's great. I think all people are equal. No, I think it's great. It adds a dimension, which is awesome. And you're looking at one of the best players, for within hockey was Wayne Simmons, and obviously he played for the Philadelphia Flyers. He gave a dimension that the Flyers actually could use today, and I wish he was still here, to be honest with you.
I wanted to expand like how you, but we speak about African American athletes in hockey. Like I don't know if Alex told you, I'm a Devils fan. Like I am so happy I was so happy when we traded for PK Subban, because I feel like he's like the type of brings the type of
Is he still on the Devils?
Hockey. What?
Yeah, he's a good player.
Is he still on the Devils?
PK Subban.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he's not as good as he once was, but still, if he's right now, I believe like our third line defenseman, and if you have him as your third line defenseman, I say it's a plus. And I remember the Devils are really trying to grow African Americans in hockey. I remember they were sponsored with a lot of black-owned businesses. So I really like that.
They're
aspect.
in Newark, New Jersey. They're trying to get the black person as much as possible.
Exactly.
Newark, that's an all-black city.
I mean, PK Subban's a good player.
They're saying the black people, we don't skate that well. They white black. They ain't black. That's my little joke for it.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Wayne Simmons was a heck of a skater for the Flyers, to be honest.
Yeah.
He really was.
First of all, Adam, you know me, I like hockey because I'm afraid the white people may think me as a puck. So that means low humor, Jamie.
Okay,
What other sports do you like? What other sports do you like?
Oh, I like basketball. Obviously, my wife, she's a basketball coach. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
College or high school?
What team?
It adds a dimension into our family. She coaches for Salisbury University.
Awesome.
Salisbury University? D1?
No, it's a D3.
Oh, that's awesome.
They got a big game tomorrow against Randolph-Macon.
Is your wife has over 500 wins? Because I think my sister played against your wife 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, it was school.
She went to Rutgers, Newark.
So it's funny you say that. Yeah, she plays Rutgers, Newark in a few weeks in a tournament.
My little sister played against you. Oh, my little sister's gonna give you guys buckets. That's all I'm telling you. To Mrs. Baskow, if you're watching the show, my little sister is a dog. She's gonna dog you guys next week from Rutgers, Newark. You better get the Scottie report. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, Ed Jack is really awesome.
What's her name?
Just so you know, Jamie, I'm an alumni of Buck State.
Yeah.
Faith.
Okay.
Faith
Number
Cunningham.
23. She's number 23.
Okay. Well, I'll see her in 2 weeks when they play each other in DC then.
Oh, awesome.
My sister's I feel bad for your wife.
Yeah, Ed Jack is very competitive. Amy, I'm an alumni from Montclair State, and I used to actually cover Ed Jack sports for the college newspaper there, so I know.
Fuck Montclair State for life.
And just so you know, Michael here is an alumni of TCNJ, and Alex goes to TCNJ.
Fuck Montclair.
We just beat you in double overtime. You can't talk. We just beat you in double overtime. You can't. No,
you didn't. Didn't we beat you guys in double overtime?
I'm pretty sure Montclair State won.
Pretty good.
That was TCNJ won, numbnuts.
All right, I'll have to double check.
Yo,
but
fuck Kansas. Fuck Fairleigh Dickerson.
Michael, I love you, but just getting back to the Flyers, the reason why we wanted to bring you on is the fire of their head coach Alain. So I just wanted to. What was your thoughts on that? On the firing?
He had to go. I mean, it was time. Chuck Fletcher had to make a move. It was a must. Something had to change within the Flyers organization, and the easiest person to replace is the coach. And that's exactly why Alain Vigneault was fired. You could feel it. You could sense it. You could sense that the Flyers were going to make a move somewhere, and it just so happened that Alain Vigneault was it. And honestly, when you have endured 8 years in the room, it was time to move on from Alain Vigneault.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a great
I
guy. He's a class act. Always treated me well, called me by first name. But it was time. It was time to get a fresh face in there. I don't think that Mike Yeo is the answer, but it was time. It was definitely the right move for the Flyers to make, was to fire Alain Vigneault.
I feel like it was the perfect title because the Flyers that like coming to before I fired, they were on a 9-game losing streak. So I feel like with how like the season is turned in 10-game losing streak, I feel like now is like the perfect time to let him go.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. I mean, you just know when it's the right time, and it's the easiest move to make. You can't go out and change your roster during the first quarter of the season here. The easiest move to make is to fire the coach, and Alain Vigneault was that.
Now, just speaking from an outside perspective, like I don't know too much about Flyers hockey, but I do know some because the Devils and Flyers obviously they play each other a lot. But
Yeah,
I just feel like with them moving on from my late the Flyers they've been on a nice run. I'm sorry, they made the playoffs several times in the past couple seasons. But do you think this may be time where I think the reason they moved on from LA or I think this may be like a time where the franchise shifts like a little bit and such a retool and retool and like kind of rebuild a little. Like I
yeah.
think
I
the
mean,
Flyers may be entering that phase.
yeah, but that'll come in the off season. If they decide, if they elect to rebuild. Let's see how the Flyers, right the course here, right the ship, as they say. Still about 3/4 of the season left, I'd say.
Yeah.
So anything is possible. I know it looks bleak at the moment, but anything is possible. But yeah, I'm for a rebuild. If the Flyers don't make the playoffs, yeah, I'm ready to. You can't have a mediocre product. 1 year make the playoffs, next year not. 1 year make the playoffs, next year not. And this would be 2 years in a row that the Flyers want to make the playoffs. So
Yeah, they made
I mean,
they've had that thing where they would make the playoffs and then miss the next. How long is that streak gone on now?
it's going on since at least 2010.
Yeah, so
So like that's why I'm for a small rebuild here.
yeah. I'm not necessarily saying like blow it all down, but maybe rebuild is kind of like the wrong word, but
No,
maybe
it's
kind
the
of
right
like
word. No, that is the right
kind of
word.
like a culture change is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the right word. They had a culture change this past off season. They brought in 6 to 8 players with A's that used to wear that had A's on their sweaters. So like the culture change has already taken part. I'm for a little bit of a rebuild. I'm listening to everybody minus Carter Hart and Ivan Provorov and a few other players, but other than that, everybody's fair game. Or at least I'm calling around the league to see what I could get.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, one player I wanted to ask you about, like obviously he's the Flyers captain. Claude Drew, I believe he's a free agent at the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
So what's your stance on him and his future, like potential with the Flyers?
Well, I hope he would resign.
Yeah.
Claude Giroux is a phenomenal player. You're looking at him. He's tied for the team lead in points with 21. He's tied.
He's the heart and soul of that team.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I mean, he's tied for the team lead in goals with 9. I mean, he is 33 years old and he has the most points on the Flyers with 21, and he's tied for the team lead in goals with 9, and he's 33. Like, he shouldn't be the Flyers' best player right now, but he is. And to me, that to me, I'm hoping he resigns, and obviously he's not the problem in the room.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like, I agree. I think the Flyers should resign him, but you said before about like basically anyone like is listening to offers. Like, if like a team calls offering like multiple first round picks for like Giroux, like the Flyers, they at least have to listen.
Yes, they do. Claude Giroux would be part of that. That I would call for because he would give him one heck of a return. So Claude Giroux, it's not because I want Claude Giroux traded, but yes, I would absolutely field some offers for Giroux to see what's out there. And if he wants to waive his no trade clause in the event that happens, that's fine too. But I think the thing is I think we're talking about Claude Giroux too early. If they trade Claude Giroux, they're thrown in
you're throwing in the towel. You're throwing in the towel. Yep. Like there's still a lot of hockey left, but
yeah, there's still a lot of hockey. I mean, I know it looks bleak and they can right the ship, but they can still right the ship.
Yeah, they can still right the ship. And one thing I wanted to mention about the potentially righting the ship, and the one thing that may like be an obstacle is that it's similar to what I'm thinking about with the Devils right now is that both teams they're in a very tough division.
They are
like they're like right now easily like they're the Metro division is easy to message. Like we look at the Carolina Hurricanes, Capitals aren't going anywhere. The Rangers are playing unbelievable, and you can't count the Penguins. Like there are like a lot of really good teams, so it's gonna be a battle for the Flyers to get back in this race.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get back in it, but they have no other choice. But yeah, it's a very tough division. The Devils are better, the Rangers are better, especially. So you'll always have the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Islanders are still going to come back and make a run here. You got the
I'm surprised I'm surprised the Islanders have started the season this cold.
But the past 2 years they have made the Eastern Conference Finals, so that takes a toll on your team. But they'll come back.
Yeah,
I'm not concerned about the Islanders. They're still going to be there. They're at 17 points right now. If they win tonight, it'd be at 19.
Yeah, so the Islanders could easily get back in this race. I'm also surprised with
very talented team. They got a very good coach in Barry Trotz. That team could
definitely. Yeah, they got like great guys on the team. Matthew Barzal, Kyle Palmieri. They got some guys on that team that could play a lot. Great veterans. I'm also surprised with how good Columbus is playing.
Yeah, they fell out of a playoff spot yesterday.
Yeah.
But Pittsburgh overtook them. Again, it's still early in the season, but nonetheless, they are playing some decent hockey, though.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have any other questions for
Yeah, Sam had a question, dog. Sam had a question.
What's Sam one?
Okay, here's this question.
I got it. What made you attracted to the city of Philadelphia in terms of sports?
The city of Philadelphia has a passionate fan base. I'm all about fans.
A crazy fan base. A crazy fan base.
Crazy but great. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. And they're very passionate. They're a dedicated fan base. They love their team. They love their hockey. And I love writing for them. They've given me so much over the course of the past few years that, honestly, I came here for the fans. I was a fan. I sort of still am. But I mean, they've been great to me, so I'm happy as heck to write for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I feel like that's one of the best aspects of being a writer because, I'm a writer too. Like I don't know if you know this, I cover the New Jersey Jackals, like their independent baseball team for
cool.
for Jersey Sport News, and that's like one of the best parts. Like getting to interact with fans and and getting to meet all sorts of different people. Like that's easily the best part of like being a writer.
Yeah, it makes you happy at the end of the day how they receive your work.
Yeah, definitely. Do you guys have anything else? I mean, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
I appreciate you guys having me on. The Flyers are playing right now, anyway.
Oh yeah, they're playing. What's the scoring? I believe they're tied 1-1.
Is it?
Yeah, it's tied 1-1. It's the end of the first intermission. They're tied 1-1 against the Vegas Golden Knights.
Come on,
We're
Al.
a great team.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's
yeah. One last question because Alex invited us on our show. We just recently discovered that at the end of every single episode, just so you know, Jamie, we do like a sports base segment where we each make a bet, and we just learned that
No, wait, I discovered.
Go ahead, Michael.
I discovered because Alex was in last place, and then for a month he came in the second place in a month. And I was like, wait, how did he? And he had an insider for a bet.
Yeah, an insider sending him bets.
Yeah. So Alex is a great guy. I'm happy to have him as Flyers Nitty anyway. He's one heck of a writer. That guy can write some recap. Alex is a great dude.
Trust me.
He's one of my best
friends. He's a great writer.
I've been knowing Alex longer than anybody on this podcast.
Yeah,
he's my
Alex
brother.
Is phenomenal. Alex is a really good guy.
Alex, if you're watching this, you a piece of shit. No, I'm kidding. Alex, we hate you. B, Chris, Adam, and Sam, we all hate you.
Yeah.
Jamie doesn't like you either.
Yeah, Jamie, we thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, man. Hey, go Devils.
Flyers.
Fuck the Flyers.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm looking forward. Hopefully, both of our sides can have a couple nice battles in the future. Should be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before
Just let me know. I'll come back anytime.
Definitely. You're welcome back on anytime.
Thanks for having me on, and I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the fans. So I appreciate you all.
Yeah, one last thing. Tell us where our listeners can find you.
You can find us at FlyersNittyGritty.com or at my personal handle at Jamey Baskow or at FlyersNitty. If our Twitter handle is at FlyersKNitty. So
awesome.
But I appreciate you guys. You all take care. Have a great night.
Take care, Jamie.
Happy
holidays.
You too, Jamie.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Jamey Baskow, Flyers writer for Flyers Nitty Gritty. Really great to have him on, get all of his takes on on the Flyers and like hockey in general. Like it's been an exciting hockey season, man. And I told you guys it was great to have Jamie on. Sam, I don't know. Obviously, you could reply in the chat. But with how wild this hockey season has been, we gotta get Yanni back on.
Yeah,
we got to get Yanni back on.
We have to.
Hell fucking yeah.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I need to get his thoughts on like how wild the NHL season has been so far, especially in like the Metropolitan Division. But guys, we gotta move on to the segment of the show that is like LeBron and Wade dunks on Christmas Day. Mike's hot take. Mike Cunningham, take it away.
I really got nothing to come up with in my hot take.
Really?
Oh, like Curry airballing. Okay,
that has been the performance that we got from Mike lately.
Listen, Gringo. You know what? I was listening. I was on the news earlier, watching sports media, just like Sam. Like Adam, for my next one, it should be like Sam's no jumping. That's why he can't make the volleyball team at FDU. Don't play with me, little boy. Scottie Maurice Pippin added again. He said that Tom Brady.
What did he say this time?
He said Tom Brady was not the greatest quarterback, or the greatest football player of all time. Scottie Maurice Pippin.
Michael, the floor is yours.
I hate Tom Brady. I think most Americans hate Tom Brady. But however, Scottie, you just mad that every great player was better than you, so you just want to hate on them?
Hold on. Michael, the China trip too. Scottie, if you're listening,
Scottie Maurice Pippin.
I'm shaking my head right now. That's all I have to say.
First you said
Continue,
Phil
Michael.
Jackson. First you said Phil Jackson was racist. Okay, maybe behind the scenes. But Phil Jackson's a goddamn hippie. How can he be racist? Yeah. How is Phil Jackson a hippie? He's a goddamn hippie. All he does is smoke weed. We all know that about Phil Jackson. Let's be realistic. You also have him saying Michael Jordan wasn't the best player he played with. Oh, wait. Then he said he was the best player of all time. Then he said he isn't. Okay, now you go to say that Tom Brady isn't the greatest quarterback. He doesn't play on all sides of the ball. If Scottie Pippen, if you know football, quarterbacks only play one position. That's like telling Robert Kraft to not hook up with hookers.
That's like telling that's like criticizing
A pitcher
Deion
not hitting the ball.
That's like
well.
criticizing Deion Sanders because he didn't score enough touchdowns.
That's
Like, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's basically making a pit. It's like telling a pitcher, "I need you to hit 50 home runs in the season." Doesn't add up.
Unless you're Shohei Ohtani.
Unless you're Ohtani and you're a fucking monster. Then I can understand. But Chris, Sam, I know your voice sounds like gonorrhea, but give me your opinion on the whole Scottie Pippen.
Sam, if you want, you could type it. Chris, you go.
Scotty,
Oh, Sam already said something. Here it is. Here's what he had to say. Scotty on some shit.
He always is. I'm always down from Scottie Pippen slander, but I feel like we're just recycling old hot takes right now.
True. I could kind of get what you're saying, Chris, but this is something like but here's the thing, all the previous Scottie Pippen talk was just him being bitter about I thought it was him being bitter that Michael Jordan is like rightfully so recognized as like the face of the Bulls dynasty. Like and now he's going after, but now this is like a new thing. Now he's going after someone else who's like an all-time great.
Does Tom Brady hate great athletes? Like,
no.
No, I swear. I feel like, in the movie Austin Powers, Michael Jordan's Dr. Evil and Scottie Pippen is number 2. I am number 2, okay? I don't want to be number 2 no more. All right, all joking aside. Scottie Pippen, if you're watching this, Jordan is Batman. You're Robin, and Dennis Rodman is Superman. Here's the thing: you played great in Chicago. You couldn't when you went to Houston. You couldn't carry the load over there, so you went to Portland. You had a good career in Portland. I think when Future started fucking your wife and stole your wife away from you, because how you lose your wife? How you let your Future bang your wife, Scottie Pippen? Like, dang, I thought you had money. That's one problem you let happen. You let, every time the way told agents trying to see where your ass was at, you let the nigga that you can't understand the word he says steal your woman. That's like Sam trying to steal my woman. Ain't gonna happen. Phil Jackson was the greatest coach of all time. Let's be clear, boys. That's like Chris losing against Virginia by now. It ain't gonna happen.
Just so you know, here's what Sam S.A. says. Quote, "It's terrible. Like, he was a first officer. Yeah, he thinks he's a superstar. He's overrated. He couldn't do it without Jordan. That's why I don't listen to his blasphemy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Don't forget, Phil had to bench him in the playoffs because he was selfish." Sam, you make a bunch of excellent points. Like, I've always felt this about Scott. I mean, this is like, I know I'm recycling this take over and over again, but the guy clearly has an inferiority complex. Like, he views himself like he looks at Michael Jordan, like all of fame he's getting, and he says, I don't get enough credit. Like, I should be like just like more popular than Jordan. I'm sorry, Scotty. It's not true. You are the Robin. to Jordan's Batman. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm sure, like, hold on. But Michael, I want to ask you right now. You could be, if I told you that, let's say you get reborn again, you're going to be the Robin to Jordan's Batman. Would you sign up for that?
Hell yeah, I'll sign up in a heartbeat.
Exactly. Chris, would you sign up for that?
100%.
Sam, type it right now. Would you sign up for that?
Shake your head. Shake your head for yes.
He said yes, all right?
All right, boys, let me ask you a question. Here's the thing. Scottie Pippin wasn't no slouch. We all could agree. He wasn't a Buck.
No, he's a stud.
He was a stud.
He was a special
They
player.
don't win those titles without him.
No, they don't win close to 6 in a row.
Here's the thing.
He was a major part of like that dynasty.
Hold on, boys. Big Papa speaking. Scottie Pippin, who was a top 10 player in the 90s, in the late 90s.
100% top 10 for sure.
He's a top 10 player. His contract screwed him up. In 1991, when the Bulls won their first championship, he had a low contract. That was his fault. Sam, we'll talk about that later. But
yeah, Sam just said he was amazing defensively, but offensively questionable. Here, I would reply to that, Sam, with by saying that I don't think his offense like being that questionable right now, because you had Jordan, who was like an offensive superstar. So
he didn't need to score that much. He didn't need to score.
He didn't need to score that much. So, but I get what you're saying. Go ahead, Michael.
Well, I'm telling you guys this. Pippin just needed a little credit. If I was Jordan gave him credit every time. If they won the championship, he would say Scottie was the reason why we won. First of all, they both need each other. We all know that. But Scottie Maurice Pippin, I can't with you no more, man. I can't.
Sam does not like that.
Sam does not agree, but I'm on Mike's side. MJ's not winning a title without a suitable number 2 option.
And no one is. And that's not a diss to Jordan. That's not a diss to Jordan.
Not a diss. Jordan.
Nobody outside of Duck can do it.
Yeah.
Sam.
I mean, Jordan would. Could Jordan win a title without Pippin? Yes, he would have won 6.
The roster would have
he would have won 6.
The roster would have had to be completely different.
Only way if Jordan would have won without the won with the Bulls, he would have called every single superstar in NBA history from to win that championship. That's the only way. But by himself, Jordan, Sam, when you go off this podcast, watch Jordan Rules, and then come back to me and tell me if he go win.
If you didn't have Pippen with them against the Pistons,
Sam, now you're just speaking bullshit now.
Dude would have got it took him a while to overcome the Pistons anyway.
We're definitely gonna have to resume this hot take when Sam's feeling better, cause I'm sure once Sam's feeling better, he's gonna be itching to just go at it head to with Michael about this.
Yo, Chris, you hear that, Chris?
I'm hearing. I'm on your side for the most part.
No, Chris, you hearing this, man? I hear peaceful because Sam can't talk today.
Okay. But Michael, do you have any more for your hot take?
No, good. Sam just told me to suck his dick, and I don't feel comfortable doing that.
Wow, Sam.
Sam told me to suck his balls. I feel uncomfortable.
Okay. But Michael, do you have any more?
No, I'm done.
Okay, so that's the end of Mike's hot take. I'm gonna go first here. I'm gonna I'm not just kidding. I'm approving it. I guess agree with a lot of what you said. I mean, it was. I feel like it was an interesting topic because it's Scottie Pippen giving. It was it was kind of like Scottie Pippen recycled. It was kind of like the Scottie Pippen part recycled, but it was Scottie Pippen like going after someone else. It was going after. So it was not even in a sport, right? They don't even play the same sport. So I really think it's I'm really glad that he brought us up because, guys, if Scottie Pippen continues to continue giving blasphemous takes like this, I don't know, Sam. He might start to approach Ryan Hollins. His name is
He's
slipping
already
me.
past that territory.
He's starting to approach Ryan Hollins
He's
territory.
past Hollins. Hollins isn't relevant enough anymore. Pippin's wild.
All right, but so that's why I'm going to approve it. Go ahead, Chris.
Sam, I see you have to choose yes or no. Has to make a definitive decision. Was it no stronger than the yes?
He's texting me right now. Pippin part yes, Jordan part no.
That makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
We'll count it as a no. Sounds like you're giving him a yes.
All right, yeah.
So my vote doesn't matter.
All right, so your vote doesn't matter, but go ahead, Chris.
I mean,
Chris, don't
I
be
hate
a
it.
dick.
I mean,
Chris.
I didn't like bringing up Pippin again. I always do love slandering Pippin, but Pippin was one of the best players in the game during this time. He was an elite two-way player.
That's why I said
One
he
of
was
probably the top 10 small forward of all time. He's a special player, but I'll approve it. I agree with what you said.
Chris had to be a dick. I thought Chris was gonna be a dick.
Congratulations. I'm sorry, Michael. Congratulations. Your hot take is now your records proving your record is now what is it?
55 and 55.
54 and 54 out of 60, or 54 and 6.
It was 54 out of 50.
Oh, you missed a couple recently, though.
Sam, just so you know, while you were gone, this man had 2 straight unanimous disapprovals.
Like they were terrible.
This man has like one of them was one of them was just boring. The other one was like,
which one was
Chris? Give it to it in a nutshell. Explain it in a nutshell, like that how terrible that one was.
I can't remember the topic.
It was Draymond Green.
I still stand by my statement.
You've heard him trash Draymond Green before, Sam, but he was going on another level, talking about how he's an irrelevant bum, basically.
He is an irrelevant bum, but that's just a different story.
Sam just left.
You tell me Draymond
We were not
Green.
having it. We were not having it, Sam. I believe Marcel was on that
not
too,
having it.
All of us going at him.
Sam was just not having it. So, all right. So,
yeah, I didn't know Sam was up. Sam.
All right. Let's see where he responds to the chat with.
Yeah,
I gotta see this. Wow, that's all I had to say was wow. You just wow.
Hey Sam, suck my left dick, bitch.
All right, guys. You know what wow was? You want to know something that was wow?
Your hair going back?
No, I mean it's starting to go back a little bit. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna Sam, I'm sure you're gonna there's Sam's cat there. Hi, but you know what was really wow the other day? Let's say, wow, Rutgers upsetting Purdue. Oh my God!
No, please let me say that. Please, Adam.
Go ahead. Just so you know, our very own Alexander Reich was there. He was there live. He got to go on the court after a game. Rutgers upsetting the number one.
So John Berardi, if you're watching this episode, kiss my ass. Screw Purdue. Adam, let me tell you about that Purdue game. I'm happy that Purdue's out in first place. So John can stop rubbing in my face. So at least Duke, you guys lost to Rutgers, who hasn't been relevant in basketball in over 15 years. That's the worst recently. Part. You have Ron Hartford Jr. I seen Ron Hartford Jr. play when he was in high school. He was a stud.
He's a stud. Robert Jr. Before that shot, even before he was having an unbelievable game. He finished with 30 points. He was a stud last year for Rutgers. He's playing amazing basketball for them this year so far.
His dad was. If your dad is one of the greatest defensive guards in the '90s, who was a 5-time NBA champion. who played for won all the championships with Phil Jackson. He did something right. He has that clutch in it. Everybody knows Ron Harper wasn't a clutch player for the Bulls. He wasn't.
Wait, is Ron Harper Sr.? Is that
Yeah, that's his dad.
Wow, I did not know that.
Everybody knew that. Ron Harper Jr. Adam.
Yeah, well, thank you for educating there, Mike. But
Adam,
yeah,
Adam, go in timeout. Just go in the corner for 2 minutes. You're in timeout. Go in timeout.
Fine.
Go in timeout.
All right, that's one vote for me going in timeout. Sam, my Chris votes no. Sam, do you want to put me in timeout? He said no. Okay, so I'm staying.
As the big brother of the podcast, you're in timeout.
All right, but Rutgers, like before this game, guys. I don't know about you. Rutgers was kind of like off to a slow start. They were like 500 on the year. They had just lost to Illinois. They weren't terrible per se, but they were playing like a team that you were expected to make a run to make the tournament, because that's where they were last year. Last year, Rutgers made a tournament and they came close. Like remember that run Houston went on. People forget Rutgers came close to upsetting them. They arguably should have upset them that game. They should. That you could make the case that Houston should have lost that game. So Rutgers, like this is a team that you expect to make a bounce back, see if they can pick them, see if they can make it back to the tournament and make some noise. But they've got enough to. But yeah, as I mentioned before, they've kind of gotten off to a slow start. But guys, this is the type of win that this type of like season changing win. When you when you welcome like the number one team, like the number one ranked team in the number one ranked team into your building, and you win like that on a buzzer beater, half-court buzzer beater, that's the type of win that just injects all the momentum like in your favor.
Definitely, that was such a big win for them. People don't understand how hard it is to win on the road in college basketball and conference.
100%, brother.
Like, these top teams will lose multiple times. Purdue will lose a couple more on the road that they shouldn't. Duke will lose a couple. Kansas will lose a couple. All these teams will lose these games. And it's so valuable for some of these teams like Rutgers because these wins matter. Because Rutgers hasn't got off to a great start, and losing a couple of these games early are really going to hurt their NCAA tournament chances a lot. So picking up a win like this to get them going again is massive because they don't have a great roster, but Ron Harper Jr. is stud, and they have a couple pieces that can make them an NCAA tournament team. So they gotta keep rolling and build off this. They got a big test on Sunday, I believe it's Sunday.
Yeah, Seton Hall, right?
At Seton
That's
Hall.
A big game.
Really good Seton
That's
Hall
a big
team.
game.
On the road, it's going to be tough. Seton Hall's probably going to be favored by double figures. And,
that's going to be a very tough game.
The way they won, too.
And also, like
that momentum.
Let's not forget, like, that big win Seton Hall had over Texas. Like, guys, that was a pretty big game, too. I remember, like, everyone was talking about Seton Hall, like, upsetting Texas. Texas and Rutgers just came in saying, hold my beer.
100%. That was a big win for Seton Hall. I don't even know if that was an upset, honestly. Because at Seton Hall, I believe they were favored. But, like, that's a huge win at home for them. Because Texas has been a little bit shaky to start the season. They've been decent. They've only lost to Gonzaga before this. But Seton Hall's been one of the best surprising teams to start the season, I feel like. And, like, they've already beat Michigan. And now they beat Texas. So they have 2 top 10 wins. And Michigan hasn't been as good as expected, but that's still a good win. So, like, Seton Hall's really surprised, and they've been very impressive. So, they're showing maybe it's not going to be super easy for Villanova in the Big East this year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, Villanova's definitely going to have competition because you got Seton Hall. Hold on here. I just brought it up.
Seton Hall and then UConn are the 2.
Yeah, you got Seton Hall, you got UConn, you got a lot of great teams, in that conference.
Definitely.
And Rutgers as well. Hold on for a second here. Rutgers as well. You got Ohio State. You got Michigan State. You know. I mean, you've got like a lot of it's gonna be. I mean, obviously, it's the Big Ten. They're gonna have a lot of great schools. I mean, obviously Purdue, which they just upset, so there's so Rutgers is definitely gonna be facing a lot of competition. It's gonna be tough for them.
They're gonna have to play. They're gonna have to get a couple more of these wins like this, and they have to take care of business at home. You have to defend the home court because looking at it right now, I'd say they're about the 10th best team in the conference. And with the way they play non-conference, that's not going to be good enough to make the NCAA tournament. So they're going to have to keep getting better as the season goes along, because the Big Ten's tough and it's very deep, and they're going to have to find a way to get some wins.
Yeah, definitely. Chris, I just so you know, I completely agree with what you're saying. But we'll see. It's a long season. We still got. It's still way too early. It's still way too early to tell.
But for a team like Rutgers, every game is going to matter. Like for the top teams, losing a couple games doesn't really change anything. But for Rutgers, who's probably expected to be kind of close to the bubble, some way or fashion, like these wins matter a ton. So they have to stay focused.
Yeah, definitely. To continue before we move on to just continue talking. I mean, Sam had to say this about the game. Yeah, it was an amazing win and momentum changer. Sam, I completely agree. Just to ask you this, Chris. Just going throughout the rest of college, ask about. I mean, Gonzaga. They're currently ranked 5th. What's your opinion on their stuff this season?
They've been very good. They've been disappointing. They've been very up and down, though.
Yeah.
Because
this obviously obviously really solid, but for a team like Gonzaga, we made people expect to win the whole thing. You expected them to be top 4.
100%. I mean, the rankings don't really reflect best teams because they've played so many tough teams that
they're not nearly as important as they are in college football.
No, the 8 poll doesn't mean a thing. It honestly doesn't mean as much as it does in football, but football matters more. College basketball, it means 0 because the 8 people have nothing to do with how committee ranks teams. If you're ranked in the top 25 8 people, you can still make the NCAA tournament easily, and it has happened. So 5th and 8 people, with Gonzaga would still be maybe the best team in the committee side at this point with their wins. But the game against Alabama was the one that really surprised me because they just didn't play well. They lost bad. Or not bad, but they got handled pretty good by Alabama. A lot of that has to say Alabama's really good, but Gonzaga's guard play hasn't been as good as I had hoped it would be. I mean, because Nembhard's only averaging 8. He's a guy who really needed to take a step. Bolton's been decent for him, but they haven't done. I mean, Drew Timmy's the best player in the country, so you can't. I mean, when you have the best player in the country, you're going to be fine. But they're going to need some more consistency on perimeter for them to win national championship. And with the players they have, I honestly don't know if they're ever going to get that. And that was something that worried me preseason, but I mean, it's mid-December. They won't have many tough games on their schedule moving forward. They still have at Texas Tech, which is a tough one, but then in conference play they'll have BYU and St. Mary's, but there's not going to be a lot of tests for them going forward until March. So it'll be interesting to see how they can develop.
Yeah, definitely. Michael, if you're here, I wanted to talk to you about Duke really quick. You have any thoughts on them?
Duke has been a great team. One besides that bad loss at Ohio State. You have the first pick in the draft in Paolo. What's the last name? How to pronounce it, guys?
Big Duke fan you are.
What?
Big Duke fan you are, not even knowing the best player's name.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's hard to pronounce it, bro. Going to Coach K's last season. I think Duke is going to do well. They probably may win it. They probably be the odds-on favorite to win it, probably. You have Benchera playing great. You have Keys playing good at center. Wendell Moore, who I think should have been in the NBA by now. Wendell Moore is a stud. He's a great leader for this young ball club. Now you got Coach K, who is in the final season of his illustrious career. I think they're going to get a championship. I think they have the tools and the keys to win. Yo, why you hating, Chris?
Just there's a lot of bias coming out of your mouth, I feel like.
I think they have a lot of keys to win it, but hear me wrong though. But March is a long way from now. So, but here's the thing: I think they have the keys to win.
That is true.
But however, it's hard to win a team as freshmen, all freshmen and one junior. It's hard.
I agree. I mean, they do have multiple upperclassmen guys who've been there,
and you got like Keels who'll be here probably a one and done player. You have Benchera who's a one and done player.
Yeah.
Everybody that wears number 1 for Duke always goes to the NBA right away. It's been a fact.
Yeah, I don't know if Keels goes. I don't know if he will. I could see him coming back.
Your choice, brother. Your turn, brother.
I think the X factor for the team is Mark Williams. But I think he has potential. I think he's one of the best bigs in college basketball. And I think
100%
on a lot. Because in college basketball, you don't need a big G24. Like Drew Timme can do that, Kofi Coburn can do that. That's probably it. And you don't need that. But Mark Williams is averaging 3 blocks a game. He's an elite defender inside. That's massive. Most teams don't have a guy like that. That's a difference maker.
Yeah, great cause, Baskow. I mean, obviously an amazing win for Rutgers. I mean, it's just that's a sports moment where if you saw it, you'll never forget it. That is true, like an unforgettable, win, an unforgettable moment that I think you could make August one of the biggest wins in Rutgers basketball history.
Definitely.
Definitely, and I can't wait to get Alex back on, because he was here in person. We can't and get his thoughts. But before we get to our bets, I want to I believe it. I wanted to bring this up on last episode, but so I managed to bring up this episode really quickly. I don't know if you guys heard the story about who the New York Mets' new manager might be. Did you hear the reports, guys?
I have not heard.
All right, Michael, have you heard? Sam, have you heard? You can just type it, or you can just search. Right now, the Mets have interviewed and are interested in Buck Showalter to be your new manager. Yeah. So, and I'll give my thoughts on this. I think Buck Showalter would be a great hire for the Mets, because I think he is here's what Buck Showalter is. He's a manager. That's just what he is. He's a baseball manager. He's a leader. He's a guy who knows the clubhouse, and the guy just knows baseball. He's a baseball lifer through and through. The guy's a 3-time manager of the year, so he's the type of guy that can really energize the Mets. So for the past couple hires, I feel like the Mets have always they've always taken chances on guys. They've always hired obviously Luis Rojas didn't work out. Mick Cowher is a complete and total disaster. And who else? And all the previous managerial choices. I mean, even though he didn't play a game for them, like Carl Speltron. But yeah, and I just think hiring a guy like Buck Showalter, that's a win the press conference type of hire. That's a win the press conference type of hire. To bring in a guy like that. I was a baseball lacer, knows baseball, is up down. That's the one thing I hate about. I've heard a bunch of people who I've actually heard a lot of people that are down Buck Showalter because they say, "Oh, Buck Showalter's a boomer. He's not into analytics enough." Just so you know, guys, just for the facts, Buck Showalter was into analytics before there were even analytics. Just do your research there, just first and foremost. Sorry, I had to get that out there, but Michael, I want to get your thoughts. But Michael, if the Mets were to hire Buck Showalter, I think it would be a home run hire.
It would, but you know me, I don't fuck with the Mets.
Yeah, definitely. Sam just saying Mets might have a title contended season. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to get Marcellus on because I want to hear Marcellus's thoughts on this. So who knows what will happen? For all we know, by the time we do our next episode, the Mets might end up hiring Buck Showalter. So, but guys, you know what? Sam, I may need to have you turn your camera on, and Mike, I may need to look at here because this news is gonna blow your mind and it's gonna make you rage. Speaking of Buck Showalter, there was this report from Bob Clappish. Apparently the Yankees were strongly considering hiring Buck Showalter to replace Aaron Boone. They were strongly considering. There was a lot of internal debate, to replace Boone, but ultimately, Brian Cashman decided, and he was apparently the one who decided we want to stick with Boone. We want to stick with Aaron Boone, and that's all. It's just it just proves that what we said about the Yankees is that they are stuck in their ways. They're a stubborn organization, and again, they said before we don't think Aaron Boone is the problem. That's what they believe. They say we don't think Aaron Boone's the problem. We think the players are a problem, even though they haven't signed anyone. This free agency Sam says just next season I'm skipping the season. Yeah, but I definitely, you heard me say that. If the Yankees were going to move on for Aaron Boone, Buck Showalter would have been my top candidate. He would have been my top candidate, and it's a shame that the Yankees didn't decide to go a direction. It's a shame the Yankees didn't decide to go a direction. And we said before, Yankees, if you really don't think Aaron Boone's the problem and the players are the problem, you better get better players. I don't want to hear any BS on staying under the luxury tax. I don't care, even though I've read about him a bunch of times. If you can get Carlos Correa, do it. If you go on and get a Trevor Story, get Freddie Freeman. If you want to make a trade for Matt Olson, there's still, even when this lockout BS ends, there's still a bunch of big time free agency names that are still out on the open market. So I'll tell you guys, if the Yankees don't, make some moves, then I'm not gonna be a happy man. That's all I'm gonna say. But guys, you ready to move on to our bets? All right, let's move on to our bets of the episode. To recap last episode, guys, the episode before that, every single one of us lost. For the third time in the history of this podcast, every single one of us lost. So we needed to bounce back.
Sam won.
Yeah, so really bad. Sam won his bet. He had the Nets over the Mavericks on the money line and the Knicks over the Spurs on the money line. He won his bet. He had 19.59 points. I won my bet. I had the Devils over the Flyers money line and Jackets to the point. Devils shot the Flyers, and at the very last second, with a minute left, Jack Hughes got an assist on a Michael McLeod goal. So very last second, I won my bet. I had 15.18 points. Alex won his bet. He had the Hurricanes over the Jets and Villanova over Syracuse. He won both of those, so he won his parlay. And guess what, guys? Thanks to the penalty we gave him, he only had 7.09 points.
Love to hear that.
Very good news.
News. Yeah, he would have won 14 points, but since that penalty, we had to cut it in half. So imagine that. You bet on a parlay, and that's how many points you get. That's sad. I like Michael should know. He's done that a couple times. I think Chris did that one time. No, Chris's one's a parlay. So,
what happened?
Marcel, you took a parlay one time, and you only got 1 point out of it.
Oh my god, I was so mad.
Yeah.
Because all my parlays weren't that good.
Exactly. Use your brain next time. Use your brain. Marcellus of the Nets over the Mavericks money line. He won that. He had 7.04 points. And we had 2 losses. Michael, you lost your bet. You had Villanova over Syracuse. You won that bet. And you had
Do the voice.
over
Do the voice how you do it.
You
won that
lost.
bet.
And Chris was the opposite. He had Grizzlies over the Lakers money line. He had Syracuse over Villanova. So Michael and Chris, you guys split your head-to-head matchups.
I mean, the Lakers should be embarrassed. They lost to the JV Grizzlies team without like 4 starters. Lakers suck.
Take that back.
Michael, you can't talk. Lakers have stunk this season so far.
Okay.
Grizzlies are balling.
We split the head-to-head. We split it. Me and Chris had a split decision.
All right.
We'll whoop you.
Yeah, you guys split.
Chris, you can't say shit. We split it.
I'm just talking about Grizzlies fan to you Lakers.
Okay.
My mama said if I have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
But Chris, absolutely not your motto. That's absolutely not your motto.
Chris, you're
to give you an update on the standings. Michael Romero, you remain first place.
Who's still in first place,
record.
Chris? Who's still in first place?
29-30 record. 369.58 points. Alex remains in second place, 24-35 record, 282.72 points. I remain in third place, 25-34 record, 281.94 points. Chris, you remain in fourth place, 27-32 record, 263.81 points. Marcellus is in fifth place, 32-27 record, 251.89 points. Sam, you're in last place, 29-32 record, 224.79 points. Before we do our actual bets, Sam, I'm sure you heard the news about our good friend Alex here is that his cheese scandal. So if you want, unfortunately he's not here for you to rip him to shreds, but if you want to give a quick statement, be my guest. I talk about it next.
Yeah, it'll be better.
Time. All right.
Himself and it'll be better now.
Okay. All right. Sam also messaged us that he's taking the Magic and Pistons. Both on my line and they're on a parlay, right? Okay, gotcha. All right, so I'm gonna go first. And you know what? I'm looking great at the NFL. NFL, was it week 13 or week 14? I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm not sure which week it is, but I don't really.
14, but yeah,
I think. But guys, there's a lot of bets this week that I like, but there's not really a bet that I love. It's one of those weeks where you see a lot of picks that you like, but there's not that one makeout pick.
I agree with that. There's nothing that really pops to me.
But there's a lot of solid bets, but there's nothing that you're like, I gotta have that. But I do really, really like this one. There was a bunch of ones I was thinking. I was thinking of betting the Bengals. I was thinking of betting, the Ravens. There was a lot of bets that I was considering. But you know what? I'm ultimately gonna take this one. I'm going right back to Monday Night Football. I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams over the Arizona Cardinals. I don't believe that the Cardinals are gonna sweep the Rams this year. I think the Rams are too good of a team. Cardinals, they're a beast on the road. They're not as good as home as they are on the road. And you guys know how much I love to do that home road split. I really like the Rams to come in, have a big game, and take this one and deal the Cardinals with their loss. So I'm going to take the Rams over the Cardinals on the money line. All right, we do have Alex's bet. He is taking Houston over Alabama in college basketball and the Timberwolves over the Trailblazers on Sunday. So that's Alex's bet. Not with this bet. No, not with this bet. Not with this bet. Not at least not for
he promised us, and
he
promised his word for it.
Give us his word, so if he cheats, he's a liar.
All right, just for the record, just for the record, guys, You know, Alex's bet. Just a little spoiler alert. You know, Alex's betting insider.
Yeah.
We're gonna have him on next episode.
I want to rip him to shreds.
That's not his fault.
It's not his. If anything, we should give him credit. He's the one who came up with all those genius bets. He's the one. He's the mastermind behind all of it. He deserves all the credit for Alex taking the leap that he did.
I am taking him straight to hell. So, was that creepy? Be honest. Was that creepy? Raise your hand if you thought that was creepy. Taking him straight to hell. In the words of the Undertaker, you will rest in peace. Adam's like scared shitless. Adam was like scared shitless. Adam, Grassani, I'm taking you straight to hell. And after you rest in hell, you will rest in peace.
All right, Chris, go ahead. What's your bet?
I'm doing NFL. All will be money line. I'm debating how many I want to do. First off, I'm going to do Bengals over the Niners money line and Baltimore over Cleveland money line. And then third, this is this. I do think they win.
I was thinking Ravens over the Browns too, but the one thing that kept me from picking it was the Ravens aren't as good on the road as they are at home, and B, I'm not sure if I can bet on the Ravens sweeping the Browns this year.
I mean,
I'm not sure if I can be that confident.
Sometimes with the injuries they have and the way they've been playing, but
yeah.
I think.
But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
The Browns are good. And while the Ravens have struggled, they're still a good team.
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking they win. And then let's add Washington football team money line over Dallas.
Ooh.
What does this ignorant motherfucker say?
I think they're the better team, but I don't love. They've won 4th straight, so I feel like they're due to lose.
He's taking Washington over the Cowboys.
He's
taking Washington over the Cowboys. That's an interesting bet.
I think they're a better team right now. And
Fuck
I think
you,
Dallas has
Sam.
shown me the past month and a half that showed me they're better.
Cavs money line.
All right. Marcellus Texas Betway is taking the Cleveland Cavaliers on the money line over the Canes. All right, Michael. Last up. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do a three-way parlay.
Okay.
This game for Tuesday: Duke versus South Carolina State.
Okay.
Duke on the money line.
Hold on, give me a second. Duke, South Carolina State.
Over
Gotcha.
Duke. No, Duke over South Carolina State.
Gotcha. Money line, right?
Yeah, Duke on the money line. If we lose that game, I'm crying.
All right, that's your first one. I got it. Next.
I'm not gonna go. Hold up. Who are we playing this week? Are we at home? Or are we on the road? I'm not taking that bet. No, we're on the road. We on the road, so I ain't taking that bet. That's a no.
Wait, the Duke one?
Oh, the Cowboys. I was thinking the Cowboys over Washington. I was like, no, we're on the road.
Smart decision.
Shut up, bitch.
You only winning that.
Shut up, bitch. Adam, I'm gonna go ahead with you. I'm gonna take the Cardinals against the Rams.
Oh.
But Kyler Murray is going to win the MVP award. I'm sorry, Sam. Kyler Murray is a problem.
I don't know about the MVP.
I still think he does win it, but he's got an uphill climb. But
Adam, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. That's my second bet. I'm doing an NBA bet.
Okay, last one.
I'm tired of banging on the Lakers. They disappoint me too damn much.
Smart.
Nah, fuck. I'm gonna go to upset tomorrow. We're doing upset. Knicks over Bucks.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Terrible pick.
I'm fucking with you guys. That was my sleeper pick.
Just give them
All right.
anyway, but fine.
Nah, I need to be in first place.
Wait, is that your bet? Or are you
No.
changing it?
I'm
Okay,
changing.
okay, good.
What? You know what? Chris, man, I'm gonna go in Chris's land. I'm gonna go Heat over Bulls today.
That's
8 o'clock.
interesting. That's an interesting one.
Because with how Kyle Lowry's been playing and Jimmy Butler been playing, they've been playing like dogs. But I do like the Bulls, so. And that's just because Chris, shut up, bitch. You can't talk. You got use real words, little boy. Cat got you tough?
No one's gonna match up. No one wants to match up against Sam.
What was his bet? I didn't speak idiotic.
Hey Sam, just so you know, you should be telling everyone to verse you. You're in last place. Why should we scare someone who's in last place?
Sam, ooh, I'm scared. How you let Alex get past you? That's just sad.
Well, we know why.
Because Alex had an insider. Adam, Alex is insider. If you're watching this, we're gonna rip you to shreds like a baby back bitch.
Each. Okay. You know, just for the record, here's what Sam texts us. He says that Alex cheated and that he takes just for the record, Kitty quote unquote bets.
No, he said pussy
together.
bets. He takes pussy bets.
Okay. He takes real bets.
Now, Sam and Alex take stupid bets. No wonder Sam still in last. No offense, buddy. Sam really wants to flip
guys, that's all for our bets, and that's all for this episode. You guys have any thoughts?
Nope.
Go Chiefs on Sunday, baby.
Yeah.
Fuck the Chiefs for life.
Excited to be back in Arrowhead again.
Yeah, definitely. I'm tired. I'm ready to end this episode and continue celebrating all season. We only got 2 more weeks until Xmas time. Only 2 more weeks. Also, Hanukkah restart up, so to all Jewish viewers, we hope you had a very happy and safe Hanukkah. Sam, we know you're Jewish, so I just want to say hope you and your family have very safe Hanukkah. And obviously your mother, tell her I wish her happy Hanukkah too. All right, but guys, does anyone else have any final thoughts? All right, guys, that's it. This has been episode 60 of the Gay Gala podcast with yours truly, Alain Vigneault, Michael Cunningham, Chris Kern, and Sam Morell. If you like what you heard, leave a like and follow or subscribe to our podcast. Remember, my friends, no super juicy, just fantasy. If you can imagine a world, believe in it, and dive in. See you next time, and until then, stay lit.